Peace, family. This is Lions Den with another news and commentary. Breaking weather news. We have another possible major hurricane headed towards the United States. First was Florence that hit North Carolina. Now this storm, Hurricane Michael. Hurricane Michael is now a Category 1. Is expected to strengthening within the Gulf Coast, which looks like it's going to be a Category 3 hurricane possibly hitting the western part of Florida and southern part of Alabama. So I'm going to go ahead and play this weather news here, and I'm going to finish in the rest of my commentary.
This is not a direct hit on North Carolina when we say it's going to hit the state. It is as it moves up from the Florida Panhandle. They could be impacted by a Category 3 landfall, which would cause huge problems. There it is, down in the Gulf of Mexico, southeastern Gulf. Not that well organized right now, but there are hurricane warnings in effect now for the Florida Panhandle and hurricane watches and tropical storm warnings back to Mobile. And those hurricane warnings go up into southwest Georgia. Landfall with this looks to be Wednesday midday in the Florida Panhandle. As of 2 o'clock, the winds are at 75. So again, a minimal hurricane, but it is forecast to strengthen pretty rapidly once it gets into the Gulf of Mexico. And right now is forecast to be a Category 3 hurricane on landfall Wednesday morning around midday or so, late morning, early afternoon. If it is a Category 3, remember Florence was forecast to be a 3 or a 4 for several days until it made landfall, and then it weakened a day or two out. That could change. But if it is a Category 3 at landfall, that would cause tremendous wind destruction in northwest Florida. It'd be the strongest hurricane since Opal in the mid-90s. And then the storm begins to pick up speed. It weakens, of course, over land, but moving pretty quickly. So still at least a minimal tropical storm as it moves across the state. So if this is Thursday at 8 a.m. and that's Friday at 8 a.m., you see during the day Thursday, that'd be about Thursday evening. It's right over the region, probably moving somewhere over central or eastern North Carolina very rapidly. This will not be a Florence that hangs around for days, but since it is a tropical storm, or it will be when it moves across the region, potentially, you can't take these numbers literally, but anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain, this is just one computer model, could fall across the region during the day Thursday. There'll be some showers Wednesday, but they're not associated with Michael. So bottom line is, again, we'll talk more about this in the main weather, but the impacts would be Thursday during the morning and through much of the day, windy with rain, 2 to 4 inches likely, could be isolated 5-inch amounts, and winds that gust to 35, maybe 45, or an isolated 50-mile-per-hour gust. Unlike Florence, though, it'll be moving very quickly and out of here on Friday. But that amount of rain could cause at least some minor river flooding. They're a little bit high because of some of the releases from Falls Lake, at least the Neuse River is, not at flood stage, but we'll be watching that. Doesn't look like anything near as bad as Florence, but again, at least some minor flooding, maybe some flash flooding, and those winds gusting close to 50 potentially on Thursday. The good news is, after that, a real taste of fall gets here, Joel. We'll talk about that coming up.
So there you have it. This is from Raleigh, ABC 11 News in Raleigh. We talked about probably about a month ago how Florence hit the heart of the Carolinas, and now we have another major hurricane headed towards the United States, and that's Florida, southwestern part of Florida, and it could affect Alabama as well. So, it's going to be a Category 3. Of course, it's going to get probably strengthening. It's already a Cat 1 as it is, but it's going to hit by either tomorrow evening or early Thursday morning. That's been according to the National Weather Service. So if you live in the western part of Florida, like Tallahassee, or I just say like Tampa, like the western, I don't think it's going to affect Tampa that much, but it will affect places like Tallahassee, places like Mobile, Alabama, just like he says, or possibly it's going to really affect places everywhere. So for those of you who lives in the western part of Florida or southwestern part of Florida, or even south or southern part of Alabama, if I were you, I will go ahead and evacuate right now. Because again, this storm, especially if it's a Category 3 hurricane, it's going to affect major problems. So it's gonna be in a very long ride. Now, according to a track, it's gonna be still be once it makes landfall, it's gonna be a quicker storm. It's gonna be possibly going to be a tropical storm. It's going to head toward the Carolinas and southern part of Virginia, and then headed out to sea. So more than likely, it seems to me that Florida and Alabama. I'm not like a weather expert or anything, but at the same time, prepare yourself for evacuations because it's going to happen probably in the next either today, definitely today, and I have a family member that lives in Mobile, Alabama, so I told my family member yesterday that the hurricane is probably coming to hit their neighborhood pretty soon, and I said if I were them, I would evacuate right now. So the thing of it is, ladies and gentlemen, my advice is wait while you still can evacuate. Panama City, yeah, Panama City, Tallahassee, Alabama, Mobile, Alabama, all these areas that I just named, please, whatever you do, evacuate. This is the time right now to evacuate from Panama City to Tallahassee to possibly, like I said, Mobile, Alabama, because those are key places the Hurricane Michael might hit. So, like I said before, guys, please, 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 whatever you do, evacuate. Leave a comment, tell me what you think about this video. Share this video. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to my reaction channel. And subscribe to my Black Johnson channel for all the news and commentary. With that being said, this is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.